What's going on, guys? I wanted to go ahead and talk about Monster Hunter Wilds a little bit. I'm going to gush over it. I got a few complaints, but nothing that takes away from it. It's a 10 out of 10 to me. And basically, just to let you know, yeah, it's a real good one. If your first game was World, like mine was, it's a good successor to it, okay? Good sequel. I think it's a sequel. Pretty much overall, the entire game is fantastic. I have not been able to put it down, other than like take a nap and pick it back up later. Unless I'm doing stuff I have to do. But yeah, it's been a great game so far. It literally, all the bosses, all the monsters are great. The only thing that I have a complaint about, that's just me personally, is just like the cultivating being so late in the game. It just bothers me that that's a thing. I don't get to capture monsters so early. But, or it's not as easy. I could farm it by hand. I'm just really lazy, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the kill option and be done with it. It's super simple that way. But some of the optimization has had its problems. There's some borders that just don't exist if you get knocked barely over it, which is a huge problem when you're fighting a monster and it knocks you out of the border. I got lucky that where I got knocked out at, I could climb back up and actually be able to utilize your ride to pop back in and get back into the fight. And it was really weird. It happened on my stream.
Oh! What? Oh, what the fuck? What do I do? He can't get to me. Can I get up? Alright, well that happened.
So that was just a one-off thing so far. I haven't tried to recreate it because I don't want it to be a problem. I didn't try to venture any further without, probably getting stuck or something. But I can imagine there could probably be other spots where the fence line is like that big and you can get knocked over it. I think it's pretty crazy that is. It looked like a pretty simple thing that you shouldn't have been able to miss. But I'm not a game designer, so I'm not even going to be like, oh my god, this takes away from the whole game. It doesn't. There is some other optimization issues though, which I'm not going to go through all like 20 hours of my footage to try to find the little hiccups like that, where I went from 30 frames, which is what I'm capped at for whatever reason. I can't get it to go any higher. It's completely blocked off. But I'm capped at 30 and it still lags. It still has frame issues, which makes no sense to me. If it's capped at 30 and it's a machine that can do 120, that doesn't make any sense, okay? That is pretty hefty problem. Which I've been seeing there's more issues with PC than there is console, so luckily I'm not having the same issues that PC has. So, it's still very well playable. It's very rare that it happens for the most part. In 6 hours it might dip here and there, like very little. So I don't have to worry about it as much, but it is still prevalent. Some of the easy, like quote-unquote the easy thing about it, like what makes the game easy, that was a big thing when the journalists were talking about it. It's like, oh yeah, it's so much easier. Unfortunately, they were right. It's just not low rank. It actually is a mechanic thing, okay? So if you played World or probably any other one, okay, I don't remember if Rise had this, actually, because I didn't like Rise as much. But in the other ones, you could not just, like, in the middle of battle, like, you would have to heal, just like in Dark Souls and stuff. But you couldn't make it easy. In this one, you can jump on your ride, heal, sharpen your weapon, and get right back to the fight and never get hit. Or at least it's pretty hard. You can still get hit. I get hit still. But fainting is almost non-existent. It's happened to me now recently, which was just from a rappel mission. That was it. I don't have to fight and kill it. Even then, it looked like I was going to kill it. But yeah, I got my faint twice, survived on the third, which is the first time in the whole game so far that I've even fainted once. And that's been non-existent this whole time. And the main reason? SOS. SOS has been completely turned over to a new system, basically, where it's not just for other players. So normally, at one point, and this is just going off world, I don't know all the other ones, okay, I'm not going to go into the 30,000 different Monster Hunters, where this one obscure one allowed you to, jerk off the president. But at this point, you were not able to use SOSs to, like, get NPCs. You had to have somebody that was active on the internet that would actually go, all right, I'm going through an SOS, here's somebody that needs help, I'm going to jump in. Or you can fire an SOS and your friends could help you, or you can party up, stuff like that. But in World, you could not do it as often. There was a lot of missions that just didn't allow SOS. You had to actually finish the mission without help. And in this one, you can pretty much fire SOSs at nauseum. It doesn't matter. You can do it all the time. And here's the little bit of a cherry on top for the easiness. it's not just firing SOSs, you get NPCs. If somebody doesn't jump in, you get an NPC. For like every 30 seconds to a minute, somebody doesn't come in, NPC. You get 4 or 3 of them, so there's a party of 4, and you can just slaughter. It's easy. And I've even gotten to the point where I had a person, a cat, an NPC, my cat, and me. 5 attacking. It happens. So when they say it's easier, that's the type of shit they're talking about. It is easier. Now, you can be a purist and go the old way where you don't use your mount and you don't use your SOS in that way. That's fine. You know, I'm using it, obviously, because it's a gameplay mechanic. If it makes it easier, I'm going to use it. Why not? The main reason why I play the game is to farm, make armor, and make dope-ass weapons. That's it. That's the premise of the game anyway. The story is usually sidelined by a majority of people anyway. They just want to sit there and build high-tier stuff, fight tempered versions of everything. That's literally it. That's all the people at work talked about. Man, I can't wait to fight tempered. All those reviews are probably based off low-ranked stuff, not high-ranked. And yeah, no, they're kind of not. They're literally based off of the entire game itself just being kind of easier. But I have to say, like, graphics and fights, the fighting mechanics still really top-notch, still look really good. I like it, especially being PS5. You know, it's done in the RE engine now, so it's definitely got a lot that it's living up to compared to the Resident Evil franchise that's been used on the RE engine now. And of course, the food still looks good. I don't know why, it does. I can't wait till my food that I'm smoking right now gets done, so I don't have to look at their food being smoked and grilled and cooked. I can look at my food and be happy. But the game overall plays really good. It's, besides the hiccups here and there. The other thing is the story. If you're not into the story, I'd recommend just actually paying attention. It's pretty cool. I like it. So far, all the little twists and turns. While not 100% original, let's be honest, but at this point in time with story writing, nothing's really going to be fully original. But it really works in the context of the game, in the story of the game. It doesn't really make me think exactly, other than the fact I'm a little bit of an asshole. I was like, yeah, it just sounds like more Jurassic Park-ish shit, but still really good. Like I said, the story's fine. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. Like I said, there's just some optimization issues. It is easy compared to the other ones, but the gameplay's still great. The monster's still cool. I can't wait to some post-game stuff from the events to see some returning enemies that are my favorite, except for the Devil Pickle. I don't want to fight him. Or Nier Gigante. Nier Gigante, Behemoth, all that, which Behemoth was the Final Fantasy crossover. I hope that doesn't come back, and I do, because it was cool, but I hate it. And Nier Gigante was an asshole. I think that's probably another thing, was just these absolute brutal bosses just don't really exist in this one, it don't seem like. But those were literally small, normal monster-sized monsters that were Elder Dragons that would wipe the floor with you. And I haven't really ran into that yet, except for one Elder Dragon so far. Which, like I said, he's the only one that actually kind of obliterated me a little. And even then, it wasn't that hard. I just swapped weapons over, which is another thing. You can carry 2 weapons. Not on you, but it's on your mount. So you can swap at any point. You can have, all right, I'm fighting this guy, and I just need to kind of DPS him a little bit with my dual blades, and then jump back and do support when the SOS goes through. Because that's what I do. If I feel like it, I'll just jump back, use a bow for support, which just absolutely murders even more than it used to. But yeah, guys, about all I got to say. Y'all have a good one.